Morning guys, I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, and in our series 5 Minutes to Better Bushcraft today, we're going to talk about 5 simple things that you can do to improve your fire starting capabilities. Stay with me. Okay, number 1, anytime you buy a new cigarette lighter, and it should be something that's brightly colored, go ahead before you even put this thing in your kit and remove the child's safety. That child's safety makes it more difficult to push down to strike the striking wheel against the flint. And if you just shove something underneath that and pop it completely off, it's gone. What that allows you to do is be able to dry that wheel out faster if you were to get this lighter wet. So in an emergency, you're not messing around trying to get that out of the way so you can dry that striking wheel off, because we know the Ferrocerium rod will work even if it's wet, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But that wheel being wet doesn't allow it to strike the Ferrocerium rod inside the lighter. Okay, number 2, Ferrocerium rods. Not to beat a dead horse, but buy one that's 5 or 6 inches long, 1/2 inch in diameter. That way you have longer contact time with the surface of that rod to remove more material. That is the key element to successful combustion with this rod, is removal of material from the rod. So the longer you have contact time with the rod and the more material you can remove, the better off you are. To that end, what we're going to do is, most of these newer rods come with a hole drilled in them for a lanyard or paracord of some sort. Take 1-inch duct tape. Again, I always recommend Gorilla brand because it's highly flammable. Go right below that lanyard and wrap that rod with enough 1-inch duct tape that it creates a handle of sorts that you can grab onto even in a pair of gloves. So if you have marginal tinder sources and you get a small flame, you can then use that open flame to ignite pieces of this duct tape to extend that coal. And it doesn't take a whole lot of this, just enough of a hump on there that when you put your hand in there and you grab it, you've got something to stop the rod from pulling forward in your hand, giving you better control. Number 3, always have a 90-degree spine on your knife, whether it is carbon steel or stainless steel. The reasons for that are because it makes it easier to process tinder materials and easier to strike your Ferrocerium rod. Once you get the coating off of it, it makes it very easy to strike that rod without a lot of pressure, okay? Which goes into number 4, which is always carry fat wood. Fat wood is something that you can buy at any local hardware store. You can buy it online, or you can find it, harvest it yourself in the woods. I've got videos on how to find this stuff. However, this is a waterproof fire starting device, and with your Ferrocerium rod, you are almost guaranteed to always have fire, even in the wettest conditions. I can take this material and dunk it underwater. Dunk the rod, dunk the fat wood underwater, pull them out, shake the rod off, shake the material off, come in here and use my knife to remove material from this rod, again with a 90-degree spine. I can use it like a spoke shave to remove material without sacrificing my blade edge. Because there's oils and resins in this wood, it's fairly waterproof in and of itself. Get myself a pile of those shavings, and even if the outer is a little bit damp, it's still going to light right up with my Ferrocerium rod. Okay, the last step in this puzzle. 5 trees that you should be able to identify readily during their life cycle, and also multi-seasonal. In other words, when they have leaves on them and when they don't. Birches, pines, cedars, poplars, and tulip poplar. All of these trees have amazing fire starting resources. Some of them have resins or volatile oils. Others have inner barks and some outer barks that can be shredded very fine to make fantastic tinder bundles and bird nest materials. And if you can identify those 5 types of trees, you can always find fire starting resources beyond what you carry in your kit. I appreciate you guys joining me for this 5 minutes to better bushcraft today. I thank you for your views. I thank you for your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.